plant lovers, welcome to September's plant propagation grab and grow. This one for September is the Propagation woodii, also known as the string of hearts. This is a super sought after plant, so good luck. It's kind of hard to take care of, but in a way it's sort of easy to take care of because if you just ignore it, then it does its thing. However, if you overwater it, then you'll overlove it. So in your kit, you will receive your brown bag. In the brown bag, you'll have your soil or potting medium. You'll receive your couple of plant clippings, paper clips, and your pot. So the first thing that you'll want to do is take your 3-inch pot and your potting medium, and you'll fill your pot with the soil. Leave about maybe a ½ inch of headroom at the top. And then you'll water it so that the water runs through, but you don't want super wet soil. So let it sit for a minute so that the water can drain off. One thing that I recommend doing with your pot is instead of running water through it, you'll take a water bottle and spritz the top of it so that it dampens the soil. So before we actually put our clippings onto our dampened soil, let me show you a little bit about the string of hearts plant. You'll receive clippings that look sort of like this. This is a vining plant, and you'll find the leaves, they're heart-shaped, which is pretty apropos, string of hearts. This little section right here, where are we? That is your node. That's where the leaves come out of, and so that's also where you will get some roots to grow. So from the node, you'll also get some new growth. So that's kind of what we're looking for on our plant. So what you're gonna do to plant these clippings is we want the node to be resting on top of our damp soil. So we're gonna take and lay our clippings node side down on top of the soil. And if you have some extra long vines or anything, feel free to clip those off because they won't actually grow anything, they'll just kind of be in the way. But you can lay your clippings down on top of the soil so that the node is touching the damp soil, and lightly push down so that it makes contact with the damp soil. This is where your paper clips are going to come in handy, and we are giving you full clips, but you'll take and cut them down to a U shape. So just to make sure that our plant is making contact with the soil, you'll take your paper clip and lightly push it down on the vine, and that makes sure that it stays in place and it won't pop up away from, there won't be a gap in between the vine and the soil. So do that with all of your clippings. Right here you can see we've got 1, 2, and 3 nodes on this vine. So I'll lay this down, and even though this node doesn't have any leaves coming off of it, we'll still get some growth. That is the beauty of nature. It might take a little bit of caressing because they don't want to stay down, but just be patient with it. And this one has a little bit of an excess vine on it, so I'm just going to snip that extra off. And as you go, make sure that you're adding your paper clips, and it might help to cover a couple of vines with 1 paper clip so you get the most out of it. So this clipping actually had a lot of vine but only 1 node on it. So what I did was I cut off that extra vine and I left just that 1 node with 1 leaf on there. And what you can do with these is find a nice open area, make a little bit of a hole in your soil. You can use your finger, you can use a paper clip, you can use the pencil, a pen, and you're going to just bury that node because we'll get some new vine to shoot off of that node and it'll root and that will grow a new plant. So I'm just gonna bury that node a little shallowly in the soil, just like that. And then I'll continue to take my clippings, and this doesn't have any leaves on it, but we do have two nodes, one right here and one right here. So we will get some new growth off of those. All right, so now that we have all of our clippings laid in a circle on top of our damp soil, it doesn't look like very much right now, but trust me, in a couple of weeks, you'll see some new growth popping up off of the soil. And just keep this nice and damp, and I'll show you how to do that right now. All right, so now that we have all of our clippings in a circle on top of the soil, we're gonna make a little greenhouse to ensure that the soil stays nice and damp and that we encourage some new growth. So to do that, take one of your Ziploc bags. You're gonna place the whole pot inside of that bag. And close it up. It might help too to blow inside of the bag to get some warm air. And then this can sit in indirect sunlight. Keep it a little bit warm, but it can sit in indirect sunlight until you start to see some new growth. And check it every couple of days to make sure that the soil is staying damp. You'll see some water droplets condensing in there. That's great, that's exactly what you want because the moisture will encourage new growth. So to give you an example of how your plant is going to grow, I have this string of spades that I propagated about 3 weeks ago. So you can see here that we've got our original leaves, and then you can see some nice green new growth that's starting right here. So I'm gonna leave this inside of the little greenhouse that I've created just to make these grow a little bit more and hopefully get some more to grow around it. But eventually this is going to vine and become a nice big lush string of spades plant, just like one day your string of hearts will turn out to be. So best of luck to you. I hope that everything turns out. If you have any questions, feel free to hit up Julie or Jenna at Evergreen Park Public Library. And we're always here for any of your planting needs or questions. Thanks so much and good luck.